Hey guys, it's Beth. Today I'll be using this hanger and napkin from Dollar Tree, as well as some of their little cutouts and a letter from Amazon. I removed the hanger and then placed down the letter B and my two little cutouts and placed painter's tape on either side of it just to get my spacing. Used antique wax by Waverly, brushed it on the center part, and used a baby wipe to blend it. Dried that completely, and then I also covered the entire back with the wax as well. Next, I taped off the center part and then marked off about 1/4 inch on either side of the wax. I used Plaster chalk paint by Waverly, gave it one coat, dried that coat, and then did one more. After the second coat, I removed the tape and then dried that. And then I taped off the remainder part of the hanger and painted that with black chalk paint by Folkart. And that I just did one coat. After that was done, I just set it aside. And then I took the plaster chalk paint again, painted the front and sides of the letter B with just one coat. And then I painted the ghost cutout with 2 coats, the front and sides. And then I used pumpkin orange acrylic paint for the little jack-o'-lantern, and that took 2 coats as well. And then I took smoky brown acrylic paint and painted the little stem on there. Once the bee was completely dry, on top of the paint I added a layer of Mod Podge, just a thin layer. Dried that completely. I like to dry the Mod Podge when working with napkins, so then you can get your placement just right without the napkin ripping. I then took this napkin from Dollar Tree, removed the second layer, cut off a piece of the spider web from it, and placed it down on the bee where I wanted it. Put down some parchment paper and used my little iron to iron that on. It reactivates the Mod Podge and seals that napkin down. Then I did a second layer of Mod Podge on top of the bee and dried that completely. Once that was completely dry, I sanded it down with my micro sander. And then on the inside, I took a nail file and just poked it through the holes in the bee and just sanded those edges. And then added back in my twine hanger. I just put a couple of knots in it and cut off the excess. And then took this ribbon, was also from Dollar Tree, made a loop. I did not measure it. It's probably about 14 inches or so. I hot glued one end and then placed the other end down and just glued those ends together, making a loop. And I made 3 of those. Just tried to get them about the same. And then I took each loop and pinched it in the center, making sure that the glued part is in between the part I'm scrunching up so you won't see it at all. Once I had them all bunched up in the center, I added some twine and just wrapped it around a couple of times and knotted it and cut off the excess, and then opened up and fluffed up each of the loops. I then took my letter B and my little cutouts and put them on the wax on the front of the hanger, hot glued them into place. So you can use different shapes. Dollar Tree has a bunch of different designs, but I just thought these ones were cute and it looks like it spells out the word boo. And I did make a couple of bows for them, which I forgot to record, but you'll see those on there after. I had then took some of the black chalk paint again and just a very small paintbrush and filled in the little holes on the jack-o'-lantern and the ghost. And here are the little bows I made, just a buffalo check one and a twine one. And glued them on the holes on those and then hot glued down my bow. Super easy project and pretty much almost all Dollar Tree supplies. Thank you guys so much for watching.